Late last year, this strange, and let's just say from the outset, false story started going around about Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky.
Ukrainian President Zelensky somehow managed to buy two multi-million-dollar yachts.
Now, to be clear, nothing about the U.S. aid for yachts story was true. What was true? Vladimir Zelensky is the president of Ukraine. That checks out. And there is an ongoing debate about U.S. financial support for Ukraine. But there are a lot of these phony stories. NBC News has followed more than 40 over the last year. Clint Watts is an NBC News contributor. You've likely seen him in our coverage when there's big breaking stories. He's also the head of Microsoft's Threat Intelligence Center. Stories like these, Clint says, come straight through a pipeline, straight from Moscow, via something called Storm 1516.
Storm 1516 is what you would think of for the old troll farm, the Internet Research Agency, 10 years later, in that they need to adapt to a new medium, which is video, and they need to come up with a way to make disinformation.
Think of Storm 1516 almost like a disinformation production company. They follow a reliable path, one that starts with a cheaply made video.
Hey guys, my name is Olesya, and I'm a former employee of the so-called Troll Fabric.
I'm a senior associate scientist at a Pfizer facility in Kiev.
My name is Shahzad Nasser. I'm here to share an interesting discovery of mine.
The videos usually don't stay online long. They don't have to. They are just the kernels of so-called evidence in the pipeline.
According to this agreement I have managed to acquire, the yacht was referred to as Zelensky's yacht.
In this video, this isn't an actual journalist. His bio is faked, his true identity unknown. But his story is repackaged and amplified through the next part of the disinformation pipeline.
They then take those videos and they launder it through Telegram.
Telegram is a social media site popular with people kind of on the fringe.
But also through a series of websites that are made to look like local news sites.
The stories on those sites are shared on social media, first by known Russian propagandists, but then, if the plan works, by a U.S. audience. In this case, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene sharing the story with her 3.7 million followers. Her office didn't respond to our multiple requests for comment. The pipeline that began in Russia, now practically flooding American voters with disinformation. And here's the thing, these videos that kick it all off, they're not even that sophisticated. Darren Linville, director of Clemson's Media Forensics Hub, says they don't have to be.
More than half, I would say, almost completely fail. But it doesn't matter because they're so cheap to do that you only need a few of them to hit to make it entirely worthwhile, and they've had more than a few hits.
These videos are now targeting U.S. voters, trying to conflate fact and fiction and create havoc heading into the election.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.